most of us, we want to be successful and we have some role models. And when those role models are just only specific type of people, even they are great, um, but we don't have a lot more examples from diversity, from minority communities, from people all like BIPOC communities, then we don't follow their paths. So we need to create more and more role models from all types, all communities, from all kinds of people.
Welcome back to the Chesterfield. I'm your host, Iskway.
And I'm your other host, Ben Rayner. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. The Chesterfield is a place where we talk to Canadian creators about their favorite pieces of Canadian art and how they influence their lives and their own art. We also dive into the reasons why Canadian culture is so important.
We know that Canadian content is world-class and that it's essential we continue to tell our own stories. So thank you for being a part of this movement. In this week's episode, we're talking to our first guest from the North. I'll be speaking with Gurdeep Pandher, better known around the world as Gurdeep Pandher of the Yukon. Videos of Gurdeep's spirited Bhangra dancing outside in gorgeous Canadian nature have struck a chord with literally millions of viewers. He is a genuine Canadian viral sensation. For our conversation, Gurdeep has selected the poet Rupi Kaur. Rupi self-published her first book in 2014 and first found success on Instagram. Since then, she's sold more than 8 million copies and has been translated into 42 languages. She is undoubtedly one of the most influential writers of this generation. I actually discovered her on Instagram years ago as well, so I can safely say that I was one of the ones who joined the party before.
I'll admit that for me, this one's going to be a bit of an education because I'm not like an avid reader of poetry, and I think being sort of an older white male, I'm not the ideal audience for Rupi Kaur's poetry. So I will watch this one with great curiosity and learn something.
Now, this really is a conversation about representation. We talk a lot on the Chesterfield about the importance of seeing ourselves reflected in our media. Gurdeep chose Rupi not only because she's a great Canadian poet, but because they're both Punjabi Sikh immigrants to Canada. So this is a chance to really explore what Canadian content means to everyone. So sorry, Ben, but you are going to have to get out of here so that I can bring Gurdeep in.
All right, but before I go, let's attend to some business. As some of you might know, the Chesterfield is produced by Friends of Canadian Broadcasting, which is a non-profit group of Canadians just like you who care passionately about our arts, our news, and our cultural sovereignty. If you'd like to get involved and learn more and find out how you can ask the government to stand up for Canadian culture, visit iamcancon.ca when you're done watching. Maybe pick up some merch and stand up for Canadian culture.
Well, thank you, Ben. We will see you next week. And now, from the Yukon, Gurdeep Pandher. Tanse nitotamak, ninaoma iskwe. I'm very excited to be here today on the Chesterfield with all of you, so thank you for joining us again. And I'm joined by Gurdeep Pandher, who I'm so grateful for you to be coming on the show with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Iskway, for having me and all the people who are with you at Chesterfield. I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Before we got started, we were having a little chat about name pronunciations, and it's a beautiful thing being able to see such vast differences in names, but also like trying to get our tongues to work in new ways when learning new names. So thank you for bearing with me as I was attempting to learn yours and say it in the correct way. Thank you.
Thank you for making effort. I think there are so many cultures in our country, and every culture has such a beauty, and the language they speak and the sounds in their language, they are beautiful. I also find it's remarkable to like learn about those sounds and little details.
You've selected to speak about Rupi Kaur, and for anybody in our audience who might be unfamiliar with this person, would you care to explain who she is?
Rupi Kaur is a poet. She is a Canadian poet. She's young, 28 years old. Her poetry is candid, open, and she touches many social issues in her poetries. And 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 remarkably, she has such a unique style, very artistic style, to say those things in a few words, like to say many big, huge things. These days, a lot of people, especially people from younger generations, they are connected through these platforms like Instagram. So she's very famous among them, and she has written a couple of books, and her books are in best-selling lists, which is great. So she's our wonderful, beloved Canadian poet.
What does it mean to you to see a young Punjabi Sikh Canadian woman poet becoming such an international sensation?
It means a lot. We are a minority communities in Punjab. So, when you are in a minority community, you are always judged. All your actions are checked, double checked sometimes. It's something to be someone from minority. Like sometimes governments are not fair, laws are not fair, because laws are made based on majority people, their opinion, but not keeping minority people in their mind. So for me, coming from such a minority community and becoming such a voice in Canada, not just in Canada, internationally, being recognized, being in the list where like top books get into, it's not that easy. It requires a lot of talent and hard work. So, but a poet like Rupi Kaur, because she's from the community, she belongs to the community, and she brings that true, genuine voice, which is remarkable, which is true, which is authentic, which gives a different perspective about so many things we have been hearing from different media or different government perspectives before. So Rupi Kaur means a lot to me.
Yeah, and it's to me it makes me think of this idea that we have of what is Canada and what is Canadian, and oftentimes it feels to me like that sort of gets siphoned down into one small little stream that we all have to fit into, and this identity, like our own richness, sort of gets pushed aside because we're trying to, or maybe not trying, but it's being put on us that by being Canadian, we have to fit into this little tiny box over here. But what you're explaining, what you're sharing is beautiful, because it's exactly the opposite. And to me, that's what I think of when I think of what defines us as Canadians, is that we have beautiful cultures, we have beautiful languages, we have beautiful, all of these different bits and pieces, and we should be honoring all of that. We should be honoring all of that, all of these stories for the truth that is them. The fact that, like you've mentioned, as being children of immigrant parents, or being first generation yourself, that's a very different story than my own. As an example of, my mother's family has been from this land since the beginning of time. That's a very different narrative. It's in fact polar opposite, but they're both a part of the Canadian experience.
Exactly.
Seeing her successes and reading her pieces, has that any way inspired the work that you create?
Her journey, her work, her poetry is very powerful and remarkably inspiring. And I do read her work. I do go to her pages to like find that light, and which I include in my works as well. So it's a wonderful and as I've been dancing for many years, and I see many similarities, although she is into totally different genre, more like poetry, and I'm into dancing. But coming from Punjab, we both were born in Punjab, and we both being from such a community, which in 80s we have seen tragedies, and then settling in the same country, Canada. So so such a journey. They have so many similarities, but there are differences as well. So I'm always feeling inspired by her.
Now, your Bhangra dancing videos in the gorgeous Yukon settings are hugely popular worldwide. What does that mean to you to see your culture and your Canadian home inspiring so many people around the world?
It means a lot to me as well. First, I started making these videos just to share with my friends or close family members. And then I started noticing that people nationally and even internationally, they started watching, and not just watching, they started sending me different messages. Every single day I receive a lot of letters, from handwritten letters from people appreciating, telling their stories, personal stories, that they were going through a tough day. Then they saw my videos. It made their day. It just created joy and positivity in their lives. The main thing which makes me happy that the way I do my work, the way I present, people recognize it. People, me as a Sikh person in Canada, I wear a turban. I have such a style. I clearly, if someone sees me, I look different than the crowd. Very easily.
Right.
Yeah. So it means a lot. It means acceptance.
Well, and I'm sure it's a huge inspiration for many people, but also for young ones to be able to see people they can identify with and see successes and see those inspirational paths that you've taken as a way to show them that, things are possible, following dreams are possible, and so on.
Yeah, I would like to say a little bit that is, success. Like most of us, we want to be successful, and we have some role models. And when those role models are just only specific type of people, even they are great, but we don't have a lot more examples from diversity, from minority communities, from people all like BIPOC communities, then we don't follow their paths. So we need to create more and more role models from all types, all communities, from all kinds of people.
Right. I 100% agree with you. It's, that was something for me that I found difficult as a young mixed kid from Winnipeg who really wanted to be an artist, but had no idea that anybody from where I grew up could go on to do that. So it's, it is important, whatever those, the different ways that we can be inspiring younger ones coming up, like you've said, offering them opportunity to see in all of the different fields and all of the different types of successes that exist. What more do you think, in your opinion, what more could Canadians do to support the voices and works of our immigrant artists?
I would say that welcoming, they should be more and more welcoming. The thing is that what happens, sometimes people who are coming from immigrant communities or diverse communities, they like to present something. First thing, they try to find a platform, maybe a stage, maybe a band or group. They want to associate with someone where they can showcase their work. So at that entry level, there are sometimes barriers, or if they are not barriers, they are not welcomed with open mind and open heart, and they feel discouraged. So people from immigrant diversity communities, I think we should open up, we should be welcoming, we should appreciate a lot more. Sometimes people who have seen barriers in their life, they need to be appreciated a lot more than others. We need to extend an extra support. We need to extend extra warm welcoming to those people so that they feel supported, they feel encouraged.
Gurdeep, you are eternally optimistic. How would you like to see the future of Canadian arts and culture as it relates to dancing, poetry, painting, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I would like to see Canadian arts and paintings and everything cultures growing and making great presence on international stage. We are a great country with great people, but I would like to have this grow in a balanced way. I mean that sometimes we see that a few type of arts or genres, they're getting more attention, more recognition, but others we neglect. It also same thing with people, some specific type of people or celebrities we see, although they are great, like they have done their hard work too in their life. But when we start to forget many others, that they are working very hard too. So I would like to, all those voices like which are not supported before, to be supported by our people, so that their arts or their really talents, they also shine. So that, and also collectively, and including everyone, and our Canadian art is seen as one of the wonderful arts like this scene in the world. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I'm really looking forward to, and I'm very optimistic about that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for all of these beautiful words that you've shared with us today. I really appreciate your perspective on art, on sharing art, on who we should be including, how we should be taking care of each other, how we should be viewing our differences as things of beauty. These are all really true and dear to my heart. So thank you for speaking about them with the love and care that you do. And thank you for being so inspirational. I know that I've seen your videos. I've seen the spirit that erupts. I've seen the way it impacts others, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for sharing all of that love and kindness into this world.
And thank you also very much for this wonderful conversation, which is in many ways very important. So thank you.